The cold hit Theo Vance like a punch to the chest the moment the shuttle doors opened. He had expected snow. He had expected wind. But this was something else. The air stung his skin like needles. His breath turned to white mist the second it left his lips, and he could already feel his boots sinking into snow deeper than his ankles. "Welcome to Frostline," the dropship pilot muttered with a grin, clearly enjoying Theo's discomfort. Theo didn't reply. His lips were too numb, and his mind too busy trying to process everything that had happened. Just 72 hours ago, he was in basic training, filing reports and carrying ammo crates. Now he was standing in the middle of a frozen mountain war zone on a planet he couldn't even pronounce. And the worst part, he wasn't even supposed to be here. He was a last-minute replacement. Some tech guy caught frost fever, and Theo, just a supply clerk, was reassigned to the front lines. "Just for observation," they said. "You won't even have to fire a weapon," they promised. Then why, Theo wondered, was he holding a plasma rifle heavier than his backpack? The squad ahead of him marched through the snow, their armor suits covered in frost and camouflage netting. No one spoke. No one laughed. Their silence made the mountain feel even more massive, an endless white wilderness of steep cliffs, whispering winds, and shadows that never stood still. Theo trailed behind, trying to keep up. He hated how loud his breathing sounded in his helmet. He hated how every step felt like walking through wet cement. He hated how alone he felt, even in a group of soldiers. Then the signal came. A sharp buzz in his helmet. "Ambush. 12 o'clock. Scatter." The squad broke formation instantly, diving behind snow-covered rocks and fallen metal wreckage. Theo dropped to the ground, heart pounding in his chest. Blaster shots hissed through the air, lighting up the snow with streaks of red and blue. Theo tried to move. His fingers trembled as he gripped his rifle. He saw shadows moving through the fog, fast and agile. He wasn't trained for this. He wasn't ready. A loud explosion rocked the mountain, and everything turned white. When he opened his eyes, he was alone. The squad was gone. The snow was falling harder now, and the wind screamed louder than before. The only sound he could hear clearly was the quiet beeping of his emergency beacon. He checked his location. The drop point was now 8 kilometers south, impossible to reach without help. His legs felt weak. He sat down slowly, letting his head rest against a broken piece of metal. "I'm not dying here," he whispered to himself. "Not like this." But the mountain didn't care. It just kept snowing. Theo didn't know how long he had been sitting in the snow. Time moved strangely in the mountains. The sky was always gray, the sun hidden behind thick clouds. Every second felt like a minute. His fingers were stiff. His lips cracked. His emergency beacon blinked weakly, and the cold had reached his bones. He needed shelter. Fast. Struggling to stand, Theo scanned the snowy terrain. Not far away, half buried in a snowdrift, he saw the tip of a structure, metallic, old, and half-rusted. It looked like some kind of forgotten outpost, or maybe a weapons crate from a past battle. With what strength he had left, Theo stumbled toward it. The closer he got, the more he realized it wasn't just a crate. It was part of a larger facility, mostly buried beneath ice. A faded military logo was barely visible on one side. He forced the frozen door open with a loud creak and stepped inside. It was dark and cold, but at least it blocked the wind. He activated the flashlight on his wrist, shining it across the room. It was filled with broken tech, armor parts, old tools, half-smashed terminals. Most of it was useless. Then he saw it. In the corner, lying perfectly still, was something shaped like a dog, but bigger. Its metal body was covered in frost, and its eyes were dark. It had armored legs, sharp claws, and a tail that looked like a flexible whip. Its back had turret ports and a shield emitter. It was definitely military, definitely dangerous. Theo stepped back, unsure. Was it dead? His flashlight passed over a small screen on the side of its neck. The screen blinked to life. STNDBY mode DTCTDD. Imprinting Unit OFFLINE TOUCHTOREACTIVAT. Theo hesitated. Then, against better judgment, he reached out and touched the screen. The dog-shaped machine buzzed. Its body jerked slightly. A soft blue light returned to its eyes. It stood up slowly, scanning the room. Then, it wagged its tail. Theo froze. Good boy? The machine's head tilted. What? No, I'm not your. Theo stopped as the machine stepped closer and sat beside him like an obedient pet. Its tail wagged again. Then it spoke in a calm, robotic voice. Greetings. I am Rex 17, Tactical Combat Support Unit. I have selected you as my new handler. Please do not resist. Theo stared at the thing. You've got to be kidding me. Rex's eyes blinked once. I do not understand humor. I am designed for protection, assault, and emotional support. Would you like a demonstration? Suddenly, outside the bunker, the snow shifted. A sound like claws scraping on ice echoed through the wind. Theo turned to Rex. Yeah, now would be a great time for that demonstration. The sound outside grew louder, sharp, scraping like something dragging metal claws across stone. Theo's heart pounded. He looked at the machine beside him. Rex stood alert, eyes glowing a deeper blue now. Its legs straightened and small panels opened across its back. Inside, Theo glimpsed something dangerous. A row of hidden weapons, all perfectly clean and ready. Rex, Theo whispered, what is that sound? Unknown hostile. Scanning. Outside, the wind howled and shadows moved behind the frost-covered windows. Theo raised his rifle with shaking hands, but Rex stepped forward. I will handle this, the machine said calmly. Please stay behind me. Theo didn't argue. Suddenly, something slammed against the door. Dust and snow rained down from the ceiling. Another bang, harder this time. The door bent inward. Brace yourself, Rex said. Then the door burst open. A creature leaped through, covered in ice, shaped like a large wolf but twisted. Its back had wires and cybernetic limbs, and its eyes glowed a sickly red. A failed experiment? A rebel drone? Theo didn't know. But Rex didn't wait. With a sharp growl-like buzz, Rex charged. Its tail whipped out like a blade, slashing the creature's side. A hidden cannon popped from its shoulder and fired a short burst. The enemy screeched and staggered back, leaving smears of black liquid across the snow-covered floor. Threat level, moderate, Rex said. The enemy attacked again, faster this time, aiming straight for Theo. Rex moved between them like a shield, taking the hit on its armored side. Sparks flew, but Rex held its ground. Back off. Theo shouted, firing his plasma rifle. The blast struck the creature's leg. It stumbled. Rex didn't hesitate. With one final move, it launched a small grenade from its side compartment. The explosion was short but powerful. When the smoke cleared, the attacker lay still, its red eyes fading to nothing. Silence returned. Theo lowered his weapon slowly, breathing hard. Rex turned to them. Hostile neutralized. Are you injured? Theo shook his head. No, just surprised. You really are something. I am designed for combat and companionship, Rex replied. You may pet me now. Theo blinked. What? Rex's tail wagged. You're serious. I am always serious. Theo gave a weak laugh and reached out. His hand touched Rex's metal head. It was cold but solid and strangely comforting. The machine let out a soft chime. Bonding complete. Later, as night fell over the frozen wasteland, Theo and Rex took shelter deeper inside the broken facility. Theo built a small fire using emergency heat packs. Rex stood watch, sensors scanning constantly. Wrapped in a thermal blanket, Theo looked at his unlikely companion. Guess it's just the two of us now. Rex replied without turning. Two strays in the snow. And for the first time, Theo didn't feel quite so alone. The next morning, the snowstorm had eased. but not the danger. Theo woke up cold and stiff, his back sore from sleeping against metal pipes. Rex was already standing at the entrance of the ruined bunker, silent and watchful. Its glowing eyes scanned the white horizon beyond the open door. Theo sat up slowly. "Did you even sleep?" "I do not require rest," Rex replied. "But you snored." "I did not." "You did." Theo rolled his eyes, then rubbed warmth into his hands. "Any sign of rescue?" Rex tilted its head. "No signals from command. However, I've detected something else. A short-range encrypted transmission, not Alliance code." Theo stood quickly. "Rebels?" "Possibly," Rex said. "Source, 1.3 kilometers northeast." Theo hesitated. Going deeper into the snow-covered mountains didn't sound smart. But staying put would eventually mean freezing or being found by something worse. "All right," Theo said. "Let's check it out, but carefully." They packed what little they had. Rex scanned ahead as they moved, its paws leaving deep marks in the snow. Theo followed close behind, rifle ready, though part of him knew it was Rex who would be doing most of the fighting. The mountain grew steeper. Snow crunched under their boots. The wind howled louder through jagged peaks. After half an hour, they reached a narrow ledge where the signal was strongest. Rex stopped. "We're close. The signal is coming from that ridge." Theo looked up and saw it. A small cave entrance, mostly hidden by ice and rocks. Faint light flickered from inside. They moved slowly. Inside the cave, the walls shimmered with frost, glowing slightly from some unknown power source. Strange markings covered the walls, symbols not written by human hands. And in the middle of the room stood a communication terminal. Old, rusty, but still working. Theo stepped closer. "This isn't Alliance or Rebel." "No," Rex said. "This is alien." Before Theo could respond, a soft sound echoed from the far end of the cave. Footsteps. They weren't alone. Rex's weapons deployed instantly. Theo backed up toward the terminal. A shadow appeared at the cave's edge. Then two more. Figures in dark armor with glowing eyes and strange weapons, definitely not human. "Contact," Rex warned. "They're moving in." The figures spoke in a sharp, unknown language. Then one pointed its weapon. Theo fired first. The plasma bolt struck the wall, and chaos broke out. Rex leaped forward, using its body to shield Theo while firing precision shots at the intruders. Sparks flew, and the cave echoed with energy blasts. Theo ducked behind the terminal. His hand shook, but he fired again. One enemy fell. Another charged but was caught mid-air by Rex's tail, slammed hard into a wall. Then silence. The last enemy fled into the snow. Theo stood up, breathing hard. "What were they?" "I do not know," Rex said. "But they weren't here for sightseeing." Theo looked around the icy room, now filled with smoke and scorch marks. Something was happening in these mountains, something no one told him about. The cave was quiet again, except for the low hum of the old alien terminal. Smoke drifted through the cold air, and the scent of burned metal still lingered. Theo wiped the sweat from his forehead with a shaky hand. His body was still tense from the fight. Rex scanned the room with glowing eyes, making sure no more enemies were hiding. Then it stepped toward the terminal and connected one of its ports to it with a small, flexible cable. "What are you doing?" Theo asked, walking over slowly. "Accessing the signal," Rex said. "This technology is older than expected, but it is compatible with my interface, in strange ways." Theo tilted his head. "What do you mean, strange?" Before REX could answer, the terminal came to life. A small projection lit up above the console. It showed a lab room with glowing walls and machines Theo didn't recognize. And standing in the middle was a woman, human, wearing a white lab coat. Her voice was calm but tired. "Rex 17. Phase 3 test complete. Still responds to praise with tail movement. Weapon functions fully operational. Emotional bonding is stable." Theo stared in silence. The woman in the projection turned slightly, revealing her face. Rex took a step back. "Ah, you remember her," the machine said softly. Theo blinked. "You remember?" "She created me," Rex continued. "She gave me a name. She told me I wasn't just a weapon. She said I was meant to protect people, even after the war." Theo watched the hologram. The woman now knelt beside a younger version of Rex, gently tapping its nose. "You're not just code, Rex," she said in a recording. "You're more. You're learning. And someday, someone will need you. When that time comes, protect them." The projection faded. Silence followed. Theo didn't know what to say. He had always thought machines were just machines. But Rex looked different now, like it was remembering something it hadn't known it lost. "Why would they leave you here?" Theo finally asked. "If you were special." "I do not know," Rex said. "But someone did not want me found. And someone erased most of my memory. Only fragments remain." Theo looked around the cave again. "And that alien tech out there, maybe it has something to do with it." Rex's eyes glowed brighter. "I must recover the rest of my memory. If my creator knew something about what's happening here, it could explain everything." A cold wind blew through the cave entrance. Theo pulled his jacket tighter. "So what now?" Rex turned toward him, voice steady. "We find the next signal, and we uncover the truth." Theo gave a slow nod. "All right, but we do it together." Rex's tail wagged slightly. "Affirmative. Partner." The wind grew stronger as Theo and Rex climbed higher into the snow-covered mountains. The sunlight was weak, and the sky above looked gray and heavy, like it might collapse any moment. Snow fell in thick flakes, covering their tracks almost as soon as they made them. Theo's legs ached. His hands were numb, even inside his gloves. Still, he kept moving. "Rex," he asked between breaths, "are we sure this next signal is real?" "Yes," Rex replied, scanning ahead. "It is faint, but active. Another old relay. Possibly more memory data, or more answers." Theo nodded, too cold to speak more. He trusted Rex now. The machine hadn't just saved his life. It had become his only real companion out here. They reached a narrow mountain pass bordered by sharp cliffs. The snow was deeper here, and visibility worse. That's when Rex stopped. "What is it?" Theo asked. "Movement," Rex said. "And heat signatures. We're being followed." Theo turned sharply. "How many?" "4 units. Fast. Heavy. Machine type. But not like me." Theo's heart began to race. What did they want? Me. Suddenly, a loud metal howl echoed through the pass. Shadows darted through the snowstorm. Then from behind a snow ridge, they appeared, 4 large, sleek machines, walking on all fours like wolves. Their eyes glowed red, and steam hissed from vents on their backs. Glacier wolves. Rex growled, a mechanical sound of warning. "These are Hunter-class bots, sent to destroy rogue AI units." Theo stepped back. "You mean they're here for you?" "And anyone helping me," Rex added. Without warning, one of the wolves leaped from the ridge, landing in front of them with a thud. It charged. Rex tackled it midair. They rolled across the snow, biting and slamming into each other like beasts. Sparks flew. Metal clashed against metal. Theo fired his plasma rifle at the second wolf, hitting its leg. It stumbled but kept moving. He ducked as it fired a sharp spike in his direction, barely missing his arm. Rex smashed the first wolf into a boulder, breaking its front limbs. It didn't stop. It kept crawling forward, its systems damaged but determined to kill. "These things don't quit," Theo shouted. "They are designed for one mission only," Rex replied, charging the next target. Theo kept firing, each shot carefully aimed. He hit another in the eye. Its red glow burst in a flash of light. It screamed and collapsed. But Rex was taking damage. One of the wolves had pierced its shoulder. Panels sparked and systems blinked red. Rex didn't slow down. With a final strike from its tail, it crushed the last attacker's head into the ice. Silence returned, broken only by Theo's heavy breathing. He ran to Rex, who was now kneeling low, smoke rising from its joints. "Are you okay?" Theo asked. "I am functional," Rex said, "but I will require repairs soon." Theo looked at the broken glacier wolves scattered around them. Someone had sent these things on purpose. Someone knew Rex was awake. The cold wind didn't stop, but REX was slowing down. Theo could see sparks flickering near the joints of Rex's legs. One of its shoulder plates was dented, and part of its tail was dragging in the snow. They needed shelter, someplace safe, hidden, and warm. "We can't keep moving like this," Theo said, glancing around. "You need time to repair. I need time to breathe." Rex nodded. "Agreed." Scanning for underground structure. Signal detected, 30 meters east. Possible entry point beneath the ice. Theo raised an eyebrow. "Another cave?" "No, something larger." Following Rex's lead, Theo reached the spot. It looked like a flat snowfield, untouched and silent. But when Rex used a laser tool to melt a circular pattern into the ground, a metal hatch slowly emerged from beneath the ice. "Looks like it hasn't been opened in years," Theo said. "It hasn't," Rex replied. "Unknown origin, not alliance-made." With effort, the hatch opened. A rush of stale, warm air poured out. Below them, a staircase spiraled into darkness. Faint green lights flickered along the walls, dim but still working. Theo stepped in first, rifle ready. Rex followed. The stairwell led to a vast underground chamber. It was cold but not frozen. Strange machines covered the walls, their shapes unfamiliar. Symbols glowed faintly on every surface, curved lines, circles, and glowing runes. "What is this place?" Theo whispered. "Alien," Rex answered. "Very old, and still active." In the center of the room was a tall, glowing structure, like a pillar made of glass and energy. It pulsed slowly, as if alive. Theo stepped closer. "Is this a power source?" "Possibly," Rex replied. "Or a data core." Theo placed a hand on the pillar. It didn't burn or freeze. Instead, he felt a vibration like a quiet hum in his bones. Images flashed before his eyes. Planets, stars, creatures with golden skin and tall bodies, all moving in silence. He pulled his hand back quickly. "I saw things." "I detected a neural surge," Rex said. "This structure reacts to thought." Theo's mind spun. He looked around the alien chamber again. Did the Alliance know this was here? No. This is hidden beneath a non-mapped region. Even the rebels may not know. Then Theo spotted something at the edge of the room. A broken console, partially buried in dust. A human symbol was scratched into its side. The same one from Rex's memory recording. "She was here," Theo said. "Your creator. She found this place." Rex didn't speak, but his eyes dimmed slightly, like he was deep in thought. "Whatever this place is," Theo said, "it's not just some ruin. It's connected to you, to everything happening out there." "Agreed," Rex replied. "We must protect this place and uncover its purpose." Suddenly, the ground trembled. Snow from above fell through cracks in the ceiling. "They know we're here," Theo said. Rex activated its shield emitter. "Then we prepare." Inside the glowing chamber, Rex stood quietly, processing the information flooding its systems. The energy pillar pulsed softly, its light reflecting in the machine's bright eyes. Theo watched him, curious and hopeful. Suddenly, Oryx's body shimmered. Panels shifted, revealing a hidden compartment on his back. From inside, a small holographic projector floated up, displaying a shimmering image, a woman. She wore a white lab coat and had kind eyes. Her hair was tied back, and a gentle smile lit her face. The room behind her was filled with machines and screens, humming softly. "This is her," Rex said, voice calm but tinged with something almost like emotion. "The woman who created me." Theo stared at the hologram, feeling a strange warmth. Who was she? She was a scientist, a protector. She taught me more than battle commands. She gave me purpose. The hologram flickered and shifted, showing the woman kneeling beside a younger version of Rex, gently placing a hand on his metal head. "You're not just a weapon," she said softly. "You're more. You're my friend." Theo smiled. "You had a friend before me." Rex's eyes blinked slowly. "Yes, she cared for me. She named me Rex. She told me to protect those who cannot protect themselves, to fight only when necessary." Theo looked down at the snow-streaked floor, then back at the hologram. "Why did she leave you here?" "That, I do not know, but I suspect she wanted me to survive." A low rumble shook the chamber. The energy pillar glowed brighter, reacting to Rex's memories. Theo put a hand on the machine's cold shoulder. "I'm glad I found you." Rex's tail gave a slow wag. "And I am glad to have found you." For the first time, the machine seemed less like a weapon and more like a living being. Something that understood loyalty and trust. The hologram faded, but its message stayed. "You are not alone," Rex said quietly. "Not anymore." Outside, the wind howled, and snow drifted against the entrance. Danger was coming, but for now, in this quiet moment, Theo and Rex shared something rare, a fragile peace. Together, they prepared to face whatever lay ahead.